Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, und gute Nacht, wherever you may be on this wild and wacky and sometimes dangerous planet. This is Stamp Collecting is Fun. Stamp collecting fun is fun. It's the best fun you can have without making a mess, though I have been known to make a mess with my stamps. Just a very quick one today, hopefully. Those tend to crumble a little bit, but I was just going through some envelopes and I found these two and I thought, you know what, I haven't opened these envelopes for a while, so let's have a look at some stamps from Germany, the Germanic area. So we've got East Germany, first of all, DDR, hence the wall, and we've got Reich, post, early Germany. I have been collecting recently the reunification Germany. Also, I've got a substantial amount of Bundespost. So these are sort of the opposite of Bundespost, and these are early Germany, before, during the Second World War and before. Let's put it like that. And I've got others earlier than that, but we'll stick with what we've got. So, where shall we start? Well, let's start at the beginning. So, Reich Post, Deutsches Reich. I don't know anything about them, but we'll have a look at them anyway and see what we can see out of interest, because I just love sometimes looking. I just love looking at stamps. Deutsches Reich, Friedrich der Große, Frederick the Great to you and me. Frederick the Great was a great man. That's all I can tell you, really. He's not Bismarck and he's not the Kaiser, he's Frederick the Great. I think he may have unified the greater German Empire in some way. Possibly defeated Russia as well. I don't know, but that's a nice stamp commemorating him. What else have we got early? Deutsches Reich. So we seem to have military-ish stuff here. Military, also possibly a bit of charity there for the soldiers. I can't pronounce it. Deutschen Reichspost. Kameradschaftsblock der Deutschen Reichspost. I think I pronounced that badly. Next, this is interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Not helped in any shape or form by the council. Reichspost proper. So that's Deutsches Reich. This is Reichspost proper. And it may have a date on it. 29th of the 3rd, 1897? I think so. That's a nice little stamp, isn't it? Next we've got Deutsches Reich. I do have a number of these Germania, it is, but I can't really tell you anything about Germania. Only that it's German. Here we have Deutsches Reich again, so again we've got a postage stamp there, and this I would say is for Kameradschaftsblock. Possibly, some of the charges for the stamp, in this case 36, is towards a charitable or war machine, maybe. I'm not quite sure. Some Flugwerk there, so it's flying schools maybe. Well, that's quite nice. I think those two get together, 20 and 24. Yeah, I think we will have a full one today. Deutsches Reich Mark. Quite a nice early one. Good example. No, it's a bad example because the council's actually destroyed it. Look at the back of this. The watermark there. And here we have Deutsches Reich Farming. quite sweet. Leave that there. Hindenburg. So he was the president of Germany post First World War, up to almost the beginning of the Second World War. Died before. Did he? I'm not sure, but this is a 5 Pfennig. And the capital is Berlin, southwest. Yeah, so we've got more of this farming source. 160, 150, a 5 mark there. Another Hindenburg here. Another Hindenburg there. Actually the same one. And a 150 here. Hindenburg has had a bite taken out of it. You can get some nice stuff though. Now I think this is Bundespost. Yes, it is. You can tell by the spectacles. And a very common stamp that. Shouldn't be in this one, but is for some reason. And there's another one. I think what I was doing was just putting stuff in quickly out of the way. Possibly from the, I would think possibly from the Arts and Crafts box that I'm using to collect across Europe and South Africa. This is the city-state of Berlin, which had its own postal service, independent of Germany. Deutsche Post. So here we've got again. We've got an overstamp here of the Soviet Besatzungszone, so the Soviet zone. That's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah. Deutsches Reich 10. Not sure where that goes. That also probably goes with it. I think this comes... Ooh, maybe it doesn't. It seems to come here, doesn't it, with a similar writing. I don't know. And this is, I believe, upside down. Deutsche Reich Post of 50, and it's got a date like 88, but I'm not. And Leipzig as well. You can see the council, just make out there Leipzig. Yeah, 3 to 4N. 18483. I don't know. I cannot be sure, but I'm going to stick it there. And finally, there's always an unfinally moment. A 50 Deutsches Reich. Yeah, the hinge is still on the back. So that's quite a nice little collection there, which we'll put into a big old pile and return to their envelope after this video. So we're, I was going to say halfway through, we've gone beyond halfway, and we'll have a look at East Germany. We'll have to be a bit quicker, I think, with these. Don't have quite as many. So let's have a look at some East German stamps. Here we've got that sort of Masonic thing going on. And I've got a few of these. 5, 5 and 5. Make that another one. 5. A 10 there. That's upside down. Because I grabbed it without seeing. Deutsche Demokratische Republic, so DDR, which is what we're looking for. 12th of the first 50 something. A lady typing. Probably a typist. More worker type stamps. Not sure what's going on here, but I would suggest it's the 10 version, that's the 15 version of that set. And here we have it again. 12, this one. possibly coming to the end of what you may call hardcore DDR, if you could call any of it less than hardcore. But squirrels on a tree, it's not militaristic. It's a little bit, I don't even know. This is a Dresden Zoo. Was that one? No, but this is Dresden Zoo, 100-year anniversary. So we've got one of those backed up with another one. So I've got two of those. When I see animals, I'm thinking you're getting a bit embarrassed about your own country here. You know, with all due respect, you know, if you've got a country, sort of put your country stuff up there. However, we've got 25th International Leipzig Rauchware Nauction. I don't know what that means. Looks like the three. Could that be an Olympic thing? It may well be. That looks like the symbol of the Olympics. I'm going to put it over there. This is interesting. Oh, it's got a bit of damage there, unfortunately. Tag der Briefmarke 1959, so nice to see a date on it. So it's the day of the stamp. And this would be the postman on his bike, on a motorcycle, I believe, delivering post across Eastern Germany, East Germany, the Democratic Republic of East Germany, GDR, German Democratic Republic. Here we've got Berlin, Fischerinia. Looks like a building. Looks a little bit modern, doesn't it? It's with the triangles and tent-like circus-type thing. I'm not sure what is going on, but it's a pale stamp. There's stuff going on in the back. Someone's been taking notes. Take his name, Jones. 73, 1.432 and a 20. Don't know what any of that means, but somebody did. Somebody knew what it meant. I'm just starting to look at all these others now in case there's any other stuff that I'm missing. I think not. So that is my little collection of DDR. I have got a book which includes many more DDRs because I think even when I was back as a kid, you'd get heaps of them. Particularly the bigger ones. The bigger ones that came out were less, you know, they were trying a little bit too hard to use stamps as a way of raising cash, probably. They were struggling at the end under the socialist regime. So I'm not sure what year that would be. Is that a clue? Fuchs, which is fox in German. Oh, I think, you know, when I see that 3, well, you can see the 5 just about make up the 5 Olympic rings. I think it's the council that is celebrating the Olympics, not the stamp. So that was an error on my part. And can we work out, is this Rostock maybe? Could actually be Rostock. Pity about the damage there. So really, stamp becomes worthless. Oh, it's been hinged as well, so taken out of an album. So we'll leave it at that for now. I do happen to have found, look at this, something has been stuck. What else in here? Oh. Well, it's a secondary one of these. Something bus. Something bus. Don't know. We'll leave it at that for now. Thanks everybody. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give us a thumbs up and I'll talk to you soon. For you out there who do videos, I do love your videos. We want to see more of your stuff. It is fantastic having fun with stamps. Stamp collecting is fun. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.